Because I'm gonna tell you this, man, it's gonna be rare that you find somebody that's gonna invest in you and believe in you. That is rare.
And take you all the way, right?
It ain't happening,
rare.
man. My phone, like if you go through my phone, I have billions of dollars worth of contacts in my phone. Ain't none of one of them investing into me. Beware that that's more than likely gonna be you too. Like, cause you're gonna go pitch, you're gonna go, reach out to whoever if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, but you're gonna get no's. A lot of them, and it will be from the closest people you know. People with money only invest into other people with money because they know if they invest into you, they can lose their money and they can't get no money back.
Welcome to Engrs World. My name is Emmanuel. I'm your host. Today we have Lewis in the house with us. Welcome, Lewis.
Appreciate it.
Glad to have you. Before we got started, we were talking about, the whole background. We want to get the real side of life, trying to showcase what life really is about, how you got to where you are today, what the whole journey was about. We can, get into the real actual details of the difficulties, the troubles, the issues, and the celebrations as well. Because that kind of puts a whole loop around the full story. Is you go through the pains, but then you get to the celebration as well, right? And so, if you will, my first question really to you is what was, what I know about you now is your professional background in professional football, and then you ventured into capital investments and entrepreneurship and a life after football, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about football. What really got you started in football? What was that spark? If you can remember where you really got your initial interest in, and let's walk through how it all began.
So first off, man, I'm from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Born and raised, small country town, Wilson.
Nice.
It's one of them towns where everybody know everybody.
Yeah.
About 40,000 people.
Yeah.
And it's not many people that make it out of Wilson, just to be blunt.
Yeah.
But so for me, growing up as a kid, I got into basketball. Like my first sport was basketball. First off, my first love, because North Carolina is a basketball state, so you either Carolina or Duke. So that's where it really all started.
Yeah.
But I started playing basketball, kid you not, when I was 3 years old. And I got into football at 5.
Wow.
Early.
Wow.
But my mom, she played basketball. She played volleyball. My father, which I don't know very well, was good at sports. And my uncles was all like, my family was just, had them genes where you're just a solid person. Like all my uncles are big. Like, you know what I mean? My mom is tall. You know what I mean? So that was like something that was probably I was born
blessed with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just loved sports growing up, and that's all I did. I used to be outside every day as a kid.
Yeah.
And I played at the Boys and Girls Club since 5 years old.
Wow.
And got into sports, and then I always been active. My uncle, I learned how to count by doing push-ups.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? My uncle used to pick me up, say 1, 2, and that's how I learned how to count.
That is
so.
Wow.
It was just being, and he was in the military, so he used to have me doing like military stuff. He was tough. He ain't have no kids himself, so I guess he treated me like one.
Yeah.
So he was always tough on me as far as from the military.
Yeah.
And have me doing military workouts as a kid. My grandma saying, "Stop, you're gonna kill that boy." But I used to do it. Was fun for me. So like growing up, sports was just something that piqued my interest, and for me, it was just something that I always dreamed about doing at a professional level. I used to pray every night saying I'm gonna play, professional football or professional basketball, and like in general, I wanted to be a professional athlete no matter what. And I used to pray every night, literally, for that to happen. So I used to just pray every night. That was my dream to be, because I wanted to be, financially in a great position one day to take care of my family. That's a lot of kids' dreams, right? Yeah. And that's how it, it was just something I always kept putting in the universe, in the atmosphere. Yeah. And I used to go to school telling everybody else as well, like this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I never said I'm gonna try or
Yeah.
this and that. I always said I will do it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I was the kid that never did what everybody else did, even though I could have, because I grew up with my grandparents in the hood, so to speak, if that's what you want to call it. You know, around a lot of different things, that I see a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
But I never, you know, went those routes. You know what I mean? Because my grandparents always told me, if I did something, they not gonna come bail me out. So I knew I wasn't gonna get in trouble. I ain't got nobody that's gonna save me. You know, so for me, like that's what really, you know, made me keep focused. And I just wasn't, you know, when all the other kids was going to parties and stuff, I was just playing sports.
So I was gonna chime in. I always tell my second son, if you ever get into anything, you know, because he lives with his mom, and my daughter lives with her mom too. I always tell him straight up, if you ever get into trouble, I'm gonna be there right there and then. I'm gonna get your ass out of there, and you gonna move to Dallas where I am, and we're gonna straighten you out. And he's always like, I'm never getting in trouble because he doesn't want to move away from us.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. And growing up too, I you know, my dad was one heck of a disciplinarian. I got spankings out the wazoo.
Oh yeah. You know, I got that too.
Old school thing.
But you know, I was raised with my grandparents. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like, you know, I had that old upbringing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which, you know, I'm thankful for, because it made me be wise at a young age.
Yeah.
Yes, I sacrificed a lot because I didn't, you know, I would say I wouldn't had the same experiences that you know, other kids would do and things.
Right.
But I don't regret that, because that's why I am where I am now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it kept me focused on what I needed to do to get to where I am. So like when I was in, you know, elementary school, man, you know, I just, all I did was focus on what I needed to do. You know, was sports in school. I really never did anything outside of that. I played every single sport.
Okay.
I mean, I played, to kid you not, I played baseball.
Wow.
I played hockey.
Wow.
I ran track. I ran cross country. I played basketball and football. So I mean, you know, I pretty much played a lot of different
soccer?
sports. So I didn't play soccer, but
Okay.
I played soccer.
Okay.
So I didn't actually go into like organized sport with it.
With
But everything else, I went into organized sport with it.
Gotcha.
So for me, it was nonstop. My grandma, you know, she only made $500 a month, so she gave me everything she had.
Shout out to your grandma.
Yeah, so like, because
Wow.
I mean, think about it. As a parent, I'm playing every sport, so that means nonstop taking me to practice.
Mhm.
How I'm gonna get there? You know what I'm saying? How I'm gonna get to where I need it. Then thankfully, like for basketball, I played AAU. You know, I had, you know, the coaches used to bring me in. And they used to take the kids like us, you know, to these trips, because we, you know, really couldn't get there. You know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, my grandma made that. She made $500 a month, and literally like an AAU $100-something. She gave, you know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
she really sacrificed for me,
Right.
you know, and put in a lot of time. You know, she always fed me well. You know, I was able to go to practice, you know, and the thing for me though is I used to, and I'm gonna get to that, because a lot of stuff in high school she helped me out with too. But at elementary school, I got, you know, that was like, I feel like the time where, you know, I just focused on, you know, what I needed to do. And then, cause I wasn't no loud, I was a quiet kid. Like I never, like, I wasn't that person that's gonna go out there and be the class clown and like that. And I like to laugh, but I was a quiet kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't like to speak to nobody.
Yeah.
Like I really learned how to speak when I got to like literally college.
Yeah, I was the same way.
I mean?
I was the same way. I was very reserved, and then when I got to college, I had to take a public speaking class. I took Toastmasters, just so I can get over my, because whenever I stand in front of people, I start sweating, and then so it's like it was like a series of things that always happen whenever and then I start looking around, and I'm like, why everybody looking at me? So yeah, I definitely I'm with you on all that, and that's the, you know, you know, talking about all that, you know, that's the real side of life, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you were talking about going from basketball to football.
Yeah.
How was that transition?
Yeah.
When you know you get all the hand-eye coordination from basketball, and then you transition to football.
Man,
How was that?
basketball, I feel like is like if you play football, you have to be good at basketball. Like, the
Right.
best football players can play basketball.
Right.
If you look at a lot of the people that make it to the NFL, they can play basketball.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you look at a lot of people, like a defensive lineman, for an example, a pass rush move is a crossover. You know what I mean? You just implement football techniques with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I look at, you know, basketball helps out with football a lot, and it keeps you in shape.
Yeah.
You know, I love basketball. Like
that's your first love.
Yeah, that was my first love, for real. And like, you know, I played basketball. I was, you know, middle school basketball, football, track, you know, everything. And you know, what really helped me in middle school though was this class called AVID. It's a North Carolina thing, and I took this class, and basically it teaches you life skills. That was the class I learned the most. It was the first class that taught me made me read a book about financial literacy. Put it this way, because growing up, I was always the kind of kid that was stingy with my money. You know how like you give your kids money and they act broke. That's how I was, you know. So you give me money, I still don't have any. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I that's how I was as a kid. So like I just knew how to, you know, like I knew I wanted to stack my money, you know, as a kid. But you know, so that's how I was growing up. But then when I actually read like things about financial literacy in this class, it was in the 7th grade or 8th grade when I took these classes, and it taught me. I read Dave Ramsey books. And the way they made me read them, and then when I read them, I learned about traditional ways to invest, like IRAs and so forth. So it was like, that you can become a millionaire just by putting your money away every month, and probably 30 to 40 years. Now that was just the introductory to just understanding what you can do with money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So from that, I was like, shoot, I want to make my money work for itself too. Yeah, I want to be like that too. So that was the first time where I really understood like why is my family, you know, like, you know, working for money when the money should be working for them. So that stage, I always knew I wanted to, you know, be professional, play a professional sport, and you know, be an entrepreneur, be a boss, whatever the case you want to call it. But I never knew how to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And but that was the first time I really saw the path of how I could do it in that way. Because there's multiple different ways, but in that way.
So like a light bulb went off.
Yeah. So that class really helped me out a lot. Thankfully, you know, I truthfully believe that that's something that should be taught in every state, in every county. Just the basics, you know, like the basics can take you so far. Because if you are a kid that is just interested, you're gonna want it for yourself, because you can't make people want it. So for me, I wanted it for myself. So that's when I went down that rabbit hole. You know what I mean? In that time, you know, and then they had that same class throughout high school. So I never got out the class. You know, I was like, I'm gonna take this all the way till I graduate, because this teaching me, you know, you know what I mean?
I just love what you just said. The basics and the fundamentals are just so important, right? And wow, if that class can be offered everywhere, that'll be phenomenal.
And it doesn't even have to be in school. If it's just like, see, it's good that it was offered in school because it made me. You know what I mean? I had to take it. Like, you know, I didn't have to seek it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I truly believe it should be offered in all public schools. Because I went to a public school. I know it can be offered in private and all that stuff, but public schools, you know, there should be like a curriculum where you are forced to learn, you know, life skills. You know, because I also learned how to be organized, how to use my time management skills. Because all of these things are important. You know, in life. Not just business. But in life, when you got kids, everything. You know what I mean? So that really, you know, taught me a lot, man. And but yeah, I played sports throughout you know, middle school. I played AAU basketball. I mean, I played against you know, Montrezl Harrell, like a lot of big names that you see in the NBA. You know, I played against people that played in the NFL. You know, a lot of people from my area. I looked up to what's her name? Julius Peppers, a lot, because that was the only football player that I ever got an autograph from. Just to be honest with you, when I was a kid, I was in elementary, because he's from, East Carolina, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
So that's who I had looked up to when it comes to football, just because he was the only person that ever got an autograph from me ever in football. You know what I mean? Because he had came when I was a kid. But other than that, man, that's my road to middle school, and I just always was focused, man. I never lost sight of what I always told myself at night before I went to sleep.
Okay.
I have to do this, because if I don't, who will? You know what I mean? So I just kept pushing towards that. But like I said, I stayed active in all sports. So being active in all sports, I'm constantly training, I'm constantly practicing, because every sport I got practice. So when I jump from this season to this season, it ain't no period where I'm just sitting at the crib chilling.
Yeah, I love what you just said. If I don't, who will? I often say to people, no one will do for you what you can't do for yourself, or just in general, you have to do whatever you want to do because no one else will do it for you, right? And so I just love what you just said. I wanted to segue into that, and so I mean, continue. Let's continue talking about that, because I want to see. I want people to see how, man, it's such a story, a wonderful story, to actually understand that, when you learn the fundamentals, it really carries you a long way, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so disappointed right now in society with all the twerking videos and all the degenerate stuff that's going on in society that's really breaking down the young kids, and they're not seeing role models and people, and they're not seeing the actual stories and understanding that you can actually get to where you want to be if you stay focused, right?
Exactly.
And so
because for example, when I went to at high school, I actually that 8th to 9th grade year transition, I walked into the weight room in the high school, becoming a freshman. It was the summer of becoming a freshman from 8th grade. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I walked into the weight room, saw the varsity head football coach, and he looked at me, he was like, "You're gonna make a lot of money one day." He just said that. He spoke that on my life. He ain't never talked to me, or we ain't never talked before that, or nothing. But I was the only person from 8th grade to 9th grade to work out at the high school with the varsity team. So and he said that he spoke that on my life. He didn't know I was gonna do what I'm doing today and all these things, but he spoke that on my life, and I just constantly, I feel like that 8th grade to 9th grade year was the transition. That's the period where you can get ahead as an athlete, because everybody else is waiting until they get to high school. I'm already here at the high school. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was me getting ahead of everybody else that was in my class or after, or there already. So I just kept, working out. I used to tell my grandma, just drop me off at 9 a.m. and I'll tell you when to come pick me up. I ain't leave till about 4, 5. Wow. So I used to tell her to drop me off, and I'll call you when to come get me, because I ain't had nothing else to do. Wow. So I used to just stay at the school all day in the summer, just working out, go to the track and field. I ain't had nothing else to do, you know what I mean? So because what I'm gonna do in the hood, I ain't got nothing else to do, so I might as well stay out here and just stay here, do what I gotta do, chill, get some water, and just do it again. So then come home, I eat me a peanut butter jelly sandwich and keep it going. So, but that was my mentality, bro, because a lot of other kids, they was on vacations, they parents take them, they was on going trips and stuff. I'm just here every day by myself. You know what I mean? By myself, doing what I gotta do. So I just stayed focused in that way. And then, after my freshman year, after the freshman season, I was on varsity basketball. And then football, I got moved up to varsity.
Yeah.
But I started in varsity basketball freshman year.
Yeah.
So like I said, basketball was, my thing, but like, I got my first full-ride scholarship at NC State during that summer.
Really?
Yeah. And that was just based because, and the crazy part is how that happened was the same coach that said, I'm gonna make a lot of money one day. NC State came to the school and he just introduced me to the coach. He's gonna be a father figure to me because he know I ain't had no father, nothing like that. So that's what he said. And it meant a lot. I ain't never had nobody tell me that I don't know like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was just kind of weird how it was all happening.
Yeah.
But I went to, this is how I got the scholarship. I went to the camp, a 1-day camp, and because he invited me to go, because he said he wanted to, work with me in person. So I went to the NC State football camp, bro, and I killed it against the seniors that was going, like, the people that's supposed to be the guy. And man, nobody could stop me on one-on-ones. And I went straight to that coach that say, the one that came to my school, and I asked him, do I have a scholarship now? And he said yes. So I didn't wait for him to come tell me, you know what I mean? I didn't wait for him to tell me that I have a full ride scholarship. I asked him, sure, you saw what I did, and I had a full ride scholarship, man. But I actually wanted it for myself. I didn't sit back and wait and wonder,
right.
And I had, but prior to that also, like, I actually sent my tape by myself, like, to A through Z to all universities in the U.S., 10 schools per alphabet that I wanted to go to.
Wow.
In the whole country. So I had over hundreds of scholarships after that NC State scholarship because, like, they all knew about me already because I had went out to get what I wanted. I didn't sit back and wait for the coach to come try to make it happen for me or pray on the school or somebody to reach out. Nah, I actually got my tape. I worked with my quarterback. And thankful for them because I ain't had the technology.
Gotcha.
Then my aunt, she gave me blank CDs because I was like, oh, I need some CDs. So she lended me some blank CDs, and I put my tape on all them CDs, and I put a letter in each of those envelopes.
Yeah.
And I told every school I wanted to go to them. I gave them the same message.
Man,
I said I want to go to. I want to go there.
I want to give you a standing ovation right now, man. That is amazing, man. That's so real right there.
Because I'm like, bro, it's thousands and thousands of schools in America. You telling me I can't get one scholarship?
Man. Bro,
you just have to have some slight talent and good grades, bro. You will get a full ride scholarship.
Yeah.
So like for me, I went to take it, bro. Like I said, nobody really, I thought it's Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody, bro, I had every college in America come to this small country town that doesn't have, this just doesn't happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I had Coach Miles come to LSU, come into little old Wilson. Like this doesn't happen. Ohio State, everybody.
Miles came?
Came. You know what I mean? So
legendary Miles.
Everybody came, bro. Wow. Bro, and let me tell you how I move, man. Like I tell this to all the kids too. I say, because a lot of kids want to play sports, and let's be honest. I say, there's no way if you got even the slightest talent that you can't get a scholarship somewhere in America.
Yeah.
Because the reason why you can't get one is because you're not going to go get it.
You're sitting back waiting for
it to come waiting for it to come to you. These people don't know where you at. They ain't know where I was. I'm at Wilson.
Yeah.
You don't know where that's at. You see what I'm saying? You waiting for these people to come to you. They just don't know about you.
Yeah.
It's just like business. So I guess I had that business mentality.
Yeah. And
I didn't know it at that time because I marketed myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went out, like literally, you can go to ncaa.org and get every college in America, A through Z, D1 to D3. And I went through each of them and sent my tape. 10 schools per alphabet.
Wow.
And then I called each one of them and told them I want to come.
Oh man.
So I told them all that I want to come. You tell them the same thing. They all, you know what I mean? Make them show your interest.
Yeah.
And like literally, bro, after that scholarship, the dominoes started falling because Carolina wanted me there, South Carolina, because it's rivals. So like, oh, they want me, we got one. it become business. Seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and then Carolina wanted me, then South Carolina wanted me, then okay, who is South Carolina's rival? Clemson. Now Clemson wanted me. You know, then Tennessee wanted me. Now you know what I mean? So it just dominoes effect after that. And for me, what the next turning point for me was in sports, and this type of attitude I have. I went to my sophomore year. I went to Alabama. My granddad drove trucks for a living. Yeah. So he drove me. He like driving. So we ain't had no money to do nothing else. Yeah. So I went to Alabama camp, all the way from North Carolina, drove all the way to Alabama for a 1-day camp.
Wow.
$20. A $20 camp.
That is so
you know what I mean? Because I ain't got $300. Because you know everybody else be paying like $300, $400 just to stay for 3-4 days.
Right.
We ain't got time for all that.
Yeah.
You know, 1 day, because that's all I need.
Yeah.
I went to Alabama camp, and I really went because I wanted to see where I was against everybody else in the nation. Because at that time, that Alabama was like the best camp to go to. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And like when I went to Alabama camp, bro, and I was a sophomore and I went against the seniors, I killed it again. I was like, man, you know?
Yeah.
But the reason why my confidence level was so high, because I knew that nobody was doing what I was doing from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you know, every day during the summer. Ain't nobody doing what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so my mentality was like, because you can only build confidence through your work. You know what I
mean? That's another one right there. You can only build confidence through your work. Wow. Yeah. Wow, that is so good. Wow. I mean, it is so true too. You know, you can't sell what you don't have. You know, you put in, you know the hours you put in, you know how you getting up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever the case may be. You getting up before the birds get up. You waking up the chickens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you getting in there and grinding. Man, there's nothing like that, man. That is, I love your story,
you gotta put yourself in the fire, man. I really went and said, look, I gotta go see where I stand up against every kid in the next, because everybody went to the Alabama camp.
Oh yeah,
bro, I killed that camp, man. And that was at that time. The only downside they said I needed at that time was like, once you bench over 400 pounds, call us. So what you think I did after that? I hit that. I was going crazy because I was playing, like I said, basketball. You know, basketball, you ain't gonna be doing all that. So like, I was just a pure athlete. Right. So for me, like after that, after they told me that, I was like, boom. What you think? I mean, I went back to just get my strength up to over 400 pounds. And then
how long did it take you to get that to 400 pounds?
A year.
Oh wow.
Less than that, like almost a year.
Yeah.
And then after that, bro, I mean, I committed to Ohio State. I didn't even think about, you know, Alabama. I went to Ohio State as, you know, just went on an official visit one time at the spring game. This was Urban Meyer's first year.
Yeah.
It was me, Ezekiel, Joey Bosa. Everybody was there. It's the first year. Bro, it was 100,000 people at that game. A practice, a spring game. And like, bro, the reason why I committed at that time was because, bro, I'm from Wilson, you know, small town, bro. They was screaming my name. I was like, bro, I ain't never had this before. So I was like, this is crazy.
Oh, wow.
So I committed on the spot off of hype, and then I realized that it wasn't the decision that I wanted. So then I decommitted, and then LSU came around, you know, because they knew about how I was doing.
Yeah.
And the second time around, I was like, well, I ain't gonna do this off of hype this time. So I went to, you know, the Alabama game, and I was like, this was LSU Alabama. It was crazy. It was at LSU, so it was crazy at night. It was, you know, that experience was wild. And then I went to that game, and I loved it. I was like, okay, I like this. I went to an official visit, so, you know, to get the red carpet. And then after that, I said, nah, I'm gonna come back again because I need to come to LSU without the hype.
Right.
I need to come on a normal day, like nothing is going on. So I went and I felt like home, South Country, you know, people I can correlate with the people.
Baton Rouge knows how to hook you though. That city, man, that town is, whew,
man, this is great. Good food.
Good food,
everybody
man.
Take care of you, man. So it felt like home. So I went to LSU, full-ride scholarship. That was my decision. But you know, the moral of the story is, man, I took it though. Nobody, like, for me to have all of those scholarships things, that was all me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had nothing. Yes, I was good on the field. Yes, I had the talent.
But
at
you
the same
still had to
time,
put
but
the work.
if nobody know that I exist, all the talent and the stuff don't matter.
Right.
Especially coming from a small city. It's not like if I was coming from Dallas, it can be a lot easier if you're good because they come to Dallas.
Right.
You know, they already at the schools around here. But like when you're coming from like a nobody city,
Right.
you know, it's different, man. You know what I mean? Bigger cities you know, you kind of get an exposure. You get some exposure. Now it's still the same work.
Right.
But you get a little bit more, you know, free exposure just because you're in a bigger city. You're gonna have people on your team that maybe already have looks that are bringing people to the school to, you know, which they're looking at you now. Make sense? Because after I did all of that, a lot of people after me got scholarships. Why?
Because
of me.
Yeah.
I brought them here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it gave exposure to them too.
Wow.
So, you know, that was the route, man. And I tell my sports story because, you know, it's good for kids to know how you really can get a scholarship. Because my number one thing is get a scholarship. You know, whether it's D1, 2, 3, just if you want to be in sports, right?
Right.
And now if you're not in sports, you got to have good grades, obviously, to get one. For example, like my little brother, he just got a scholarship for marching band. He ain't in sports, but he going to school for free to play in the band. Because I feel like getting to college college is networking.
Opens up doors.
So I'm not the type, I'll never say, hey, don't go to college. Like I always say, hey man, go if you can go, you know, on a scholarship. Because now you're not putting yourself in debt, you know, but at least you go and you can give yourself more time and open up to the networking opportunities to further whatever you're trying to do. Right. Because everybody's not gonna play professional ball.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So as long as you go, it'll open the doors for whatever it is you're trying to do, and then you have to learn how to do what we doing, speaking. You know, but that was the route from, you know, coming up all the way to college. Now college is a whole different story.
Yeah,
you know, it's a whole other set of struggles.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is. It is. Again, getting into the real hype at LSU. LSU was such a great college team. I went to Mississippi State University, and whenever we had a LSU game, it was like even. You know, that's when
the bells,
everything. You know, the cowbells came out. Everybody was like, "We got to really show out because it's LSU." You know, and so yeah, LSU is such a great school. So how you spent full 4 years at LSU, right?
Yeah.
So how was that experience?
Man, LSU was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, my freshman year at LSU was like my first game was in AT&T Stadium.
Oh wow!
So I got broke in fast.
Wow.
We played TCU first college game ever.
Wow.
Was the biggest stage I could be in. So coming out from a small city and then looking up at all these flashing lights, man, that was a surreal feeling, you know, for my first game. But at LSU, man, you know, you want to be that guy. As you used to, you know, being on top. I had to, you know, grind my way up. You know, I had people like Daniil Hunter in front of me.
Right.
You know, big, like all these guys first round, you know what I mean? So I had these people in front of me, and I just, you know, I learned from them, and I had, you know, saw what they did, and I knew what I could do. You know what I mean? I just waited my turn. But my freshman year, you know, mentally, you know, I was like, dang, if I don't play though, like how am I gonna go to the NFL? That was my mindset. So I was like, I can't go back where I'm from. So that's when I really started diving back into, you know, business and what I learned in finance and just learning those things, because I was like, I need to learn another skill outside of football that can make me money just like, you know, football can.
Yeah.
So that was my brick wall of learning that sports, yes, it can get you so far, but it can't take you forever.
Yeah.
So that was my brick wall of learning things outside of sports and like after sports my freshman year in college, because I didn't get as much playing time as I wanted. And I made myself realize I can't go back home, so I need to know something.
Gotcha.
You know, I know my goals.
Yeah.
My goals is to be in a great financial position one day for my family. So, I started learning how to invest into stocks and trading and all these things. I used to not get any sleep. I used to be up looking at charts, understanding how to read markets. This was 2013, and I got into crypto. I got into a lot of everything, man. Just trying to learn and understand a lot of things. And luckily, for me, that at that time, it was early in a lot of different things. So I just kept diving into the finance side, and I was the first athlete to open up a CTA in the world, which is a investment firm at LSU.
Right.
And that went viral. I mean, I was on ESPN, everything, and that was the turning point for my entrepreneurship life, because it gave me a brand outside of football.
Right.
And this was before I started playing a lot at LSU.
Wow.
So, and then I got into a barbershop and salon on campus that I had, co-owned, and that was a great, opportunity, and it helped my brand more too.
So you really did start entrepreneurship very early.
Very early. And see, people don't know this, like they see it now, but I'm college, 10 years to get to where I am. People don't realize that, like, it just don't happen in one. You can get lucky, and maybe, get where you want. Not everybody get lucky though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's been 10 years, bro. It's been, a long time since I started, 2013.
Right.
So, that wall that I hit my freshman year set me up for life, man. And then my junior year, it's crazy that's when they had fired coach. Well, they didn't fire coach my junior year. That's when they brought in Coach O as a defensive line coach. Before that, remember, I wasn't playing like I wanted to, or on the field, getting PT and all that.
Right.
When Coach O came in, they cleared the whole defensive staff. Coach O came in as a defensive line coach. Bro, I was the first player that met him when he was on campus. And then remember, Neal and them had just went to the league, so now it was like, who gonna do it? Who gonna be that guy?
Right.
I was the first player to meet Coach O when he came on campus. The first day he came to the school, and I said, "I'm gonna be your best defensive lineman." And that year, I led the team in sacks. He ain't never seen a film about me. I ain't never have no film because I wasn't playing like that.
Right.
I ain't have nothing, and I proved myself. I told him that. I told him I'm gonna be your best defense. I knew what I could do. I just never had opportunity, because as soon as you get that opportunity, you got to take that opportunity. You can't. That's why you got to work, because if you're not prepared for that opportunity, when that opportunity comes, you're gonna waste it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, how does the saying go? You don't gotta get ready if you're already ready, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And so, wow.
And see, a lot of people don't know this, know that, because this is private stuff. I was the first player to meet him when he came to the campus. So he will tell you this story too if you ever get to speak to him.
Yeah.
I literally told him I was gonna be his best defensive, lineman that year, and I led the team in sacks.
Determination.
I literally spoke that before the season.
Wow.
And bro, after that season, football started going crazy for me.
Yeah.
Then that's how I ended up at the Cowboys. So, but that freshman year, that set me up for life.
Yeah.
Because I hit that wall.
Yeah.
Then football turned around. Now I got both. But see, the reason why I speak that about how I was successful, in entrepreneurship prior to the NFL, because I always speak that, because not every kid gonna make it to the professional league. I've done it in both. I made it professionally, but I made it in business before professional. So that tells you can make it happen.
Either way, right?
Either way.
Right.
Either way. So I like to always say that, because I'm a prime example in both avenues, whether it's sports or business. And you can't say that sports helped my business because I did it before that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that right there, I always tell that story, because people need to know, kids especially, yes, I know you want to go play football, basketball, whatever it is, but if it don't work out, use that same mentality that you have for that in another aspect, because it's the same traits.
So one thing that I kind of find is there's always a point in life that kind of re-sparks your determination and perseverance, if you will.
Yeah.
And is often when something unexpected, you expecting something and then something unexpected happened, or you like venture into a business and then everything fails, right? So
because that ain't gonna be easy.
So I'm over here wondering, like, what would you say is a point in life where either something you expected didn't happen, or everything just failed and nothing went the way, and it just really turned around your whole determination and perseverance for your drive going forward? Well,
I'm gonna tell you this, man. One thing, I learned is you have to believe in yourself.
Right.
I took risks at a young age when it comes to business.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I was gonna learn through experience.
Yeah.
You will lose money when you start in business.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just understanding that I will take losses along this journey.
Okay.
That made me realize, that I'm gonna get, because it only takes one time.
Yeah.
Be right one time.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta be right 100 times.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
You have so many great jams and great sayings, man. You just gotta be right one time. You hear that? You gotta be right one time.
Yeah. So, but you gotta keep going until you get that one time.
Exactly.
So, because the only way to fail is to quit. Really, you ain't failing. You just learning. So for me, it was just, at that time in college, for example, we get stipends as for scholarship. So I didn't go spend my money on things, material, like everybody else, wearing the best things.
No 24-inch rims.
Nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm a car person too, but like,
okay.
I ain't do it at that time. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't able.
Yeah.
But like, that, like, the money that I was having on those stipends, I was actually putting that towards business, and I would lose money, but then I knew it's a stipend. So I knew I was going to get it back next month. So I was like, if I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to take it now.
Yeah.
When I can take the risk.
Right.
Because at some point in life, the risk you can take becomes slimmer because of life. You got more responsibilities.
That's true.
So when you're young, it's the time to take these risks. It's the time to go broke and then come back. You know what I mean? It's the time.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that because you have to learn. Because once you go through some certain things, you're gonna realize you don't want to go back to that thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It taught me a lot, man. And but you have to keep going and have perseverance in business, because that's the only way to learn is through experiences. Like, yes, I can have a mentor to tell me, but people hard-headed. At the same time, you gonna know what's right, but until you experience it, you don't really understand, how to maneuver. Yes, you get guidance. Luckily for me, I had to learn. I taught myself a lot of stuff. Yeah. Now I try to give back what I learned and went through to other people, to not make the mistakes that I made in business. Because I done seen it all, did it all. I done been ripped off. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so but those experiences made me more self-educated.
Yeah.
See, a lot of us are not self-educated, so we don't know how to make decisions. We have to rely on someone else to make the decision for us.
Yeah.
So going through those experiences helped me become self-educated and understanding how to make great business decisions. And I'm not gonna be perfect, but I understand what I'm looking at. I understand, what it is in front of me. So nobody can intimidate me in a conversation because I actually understand. But that came from experience, and it's no different in sports.
Yeah,
it's experience. When you've been out there in front of 100,000 people every weekend, you got experience.
That's true.
So it's the same in business. You know what I mean?
It's so true.
You have to learn through that, because otherwise, how you gonna get where you want to go to? People, I feel like a lot of people are scared to take risks and learn through experience, but then you setting yourself back. You're never gonna reach that next level if you're trying to go to that level without going through the fire for real. That's just the reality.
Wow. So how was the transition from college to the NFL? Yeah. How was that? How was that experience for you personally?
Man, bro, every level, bro, you start over.
So the intensity with players in college versus in the NFL, did you like see a big difference in the level of impacts when in practice? Like, were you hurting more? Were you?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I hurt more in college.
In college? Wow. Okay, that's surprising.
Because in college, man, we had 2 days, but it was passed twice.
Wow.
In the NFL, you have 2 days. It's passed once.
Wow.
So just imagine putting on pass twice in 1 day. That'll mess you up mentally, right there. You're like, dang, I got to do it again. It's hot as all the way. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So like college is more mental draining than the NFL because in college I have a 2-a-day. We have practice in the morning, and I have to go to this small bed in dorm room because they make you stay in the dorm room, and that bed is half of this. This
tennis table. Wow.
So I have to take a nap on that, then get ready for another padded press. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So just imagine the mental strength you have to keep doing it every day. So like, but that's the point. Like, that same mental capacity has to follow you outside of sports because, bro, you go through some of the craziest stuff in sports, and if you can get through that, man, you can get through anything. Because, bro, just imagine every day.
Yeah.
You wake up. You go to this hot practice, Louisiana heat.
Yeah, and humidity. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pads all day. Bam, 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 bam. And the way we practice, like, we ain't have no breaks, none of that. Just running. You can't walk, none of that. Get done, grab some food, take your nap on your small, uncomfortable bed, hard mattress.
Right.
Because they force you to stay in the dorm room and count.
Yeah.
And then get ready go to the training room, get ready for your next boom practice.
Same day.
Same day. Now that was when I was practicing. They probably
changed it. They probably watered it down a little bit.
Yeah, because I tell you,
I can't imagine.
So that actually, bro, prepared me very well for the Cowboys because honestly, Cowboys had one of the hardest practices in the NFL because we all speak. Coach Marinelli come from a military background. He old school. So that same, never walking, always sprinting, nonstop break in individuals. We had the same stuff at the Cowboys. Now other NFL teams don't do that. So I had that. So luckily, I wasn't the one huffing and puffing like everybody else. That's why I made the team. Because I was not supposed to make the team, bro. They literally because they had the first round draft pick, Taco. And we was it was only a couple of us as rookies that actually stayed on the team, the roster.
Wow.
So it was because the odds was against me, because my height, they was, how it is, politics and stuff like that. But every time I went on the field, I performed. Every time I got my opportunity. Yeah. So that's why I stayed. You know what I mean? And so it was everything else that prepared me for that, and I was ready. Bro.
So you just mentioned your height, and I was kind of talking to Richard and behind the scenes before you came that I read on your wiki that it mentioned your height, and then that they said you weren't big enough. I'm over here to me, you're big as
bro. That's been my.
If you hit me right now, I would crumble.
Bro, they've been saying that to me. They've been saying that about me since high school, bro.
Man,
and I still went to the league. So that's
what?
That's been the media since high school.
Wow,
he's not tall.
Wow, that's a true story of determination and perseverance right there. Against all odds.
They've been saying that since high school, bro.
Man.
You're not tall enough. And what I do.
Man. So in your head, you walk in and then you hear that, you're like, shut up.
Yeah, I mean.
I got this. Watch me work.
Now, I have long arms, makes up for height. A lot of people don't know that. My one of my arms is 37 inches. That's not small. So, football, when it comes to my position, it's more about
reach.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not your height.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the media, you know, it's that politics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always knew I pay that stuff no mind. My philosophy that I always stuck by since high school, since they've been seeing this, was to control what I can control.
Ignore the rest, right?
I can't. If it's something that I can control, I'm gonna control it to my best ability to have all the odds in my favor.
Mm.
If I can't control it, I don't worry about it.
Wow.
So that's what I focus on, and just control what I can control. You know, I can control what I do when I get out there.
Yeah.
You know, I can control the decisions I make.
I'm so impressed, man. You don't even know, man. And so let's segue into life after football, right?
Yeah.
And you've done a whole bunch of things, and I got to meet one of you guys, guy that does the self-driving vehicle. So how did you get into that? And then I'm wearing your hat too. You know, shout out to Sway Hydration.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you know, it's one of those things. It's like you're into sports, and no one really knew you or knows your background in depth like that. Now I know your story like that, and that's so impressive. You know, and it's so motivational, and it helps to know the story of determination and perseverance and we can actually show kids out there and other people out there that you just keep going. So life after football, how has that been?
Yeah, so like I said, man, you know, because it started early, man. Like when I got the knowledge to just understand stuff, so I really preach, like really learn young about money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, because that got me to the life after football. You know, and got me self-educated enough to make decisions on my own. And yes, I made mistakes along the way. Yes, I overcame them. Yes, I've been broke before and made money back, and now I don't have to worry about it no more. I went through all the ups and downs, you know, to get where I am.
Yeah.
So like, just you know, life after sports, man. I was blessed to be in the financial space in college, to where I told you I started. You know, I was the first athlete to have an investment program, and I diversified into the barbershop and salon. I'm not in it no more because that was a cash flow and opportunity then. Okay. And then
is that the point where someone ripped you off? Was it the barbershop?
That wasn't
a different business.
Yeah, I got ripped off actually when I was in the NFL, man. There was this opportunity, here in Dallas actually. And that taught me a lot about business, man.
Wow.
Like a lot. A lot. So that taught me a lot. It taught me who I should do. Like my circle just got tighter.
Yeah. How to vet people for real.
Yeah. Taught me a lot because
it's a life lesson.
Because it was not only me. I had brought some people, my friends. So it was like, yo, you know what I mean? So that's
a deeper kind of hurt.
Deeper. So that was a setback for me, but I overcame it because I learned a lot from it. You know what I mean? And I never went back ever again to any situations like that ever since.
Right.
And now it's just been I've been with my same circle since college. Same people I started with is the same people I'm working with now.
Yeah.
So nothing changed because
consistency.
Nothing was broke, so why fix?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And I learned to stay in my circle.
Yeah.
That's why I don't make mistakes like I do.
Yeah. It's like once you get the right group of people around you, and that's what I tell people. Like you're not an island. You can't do it all by yourself.
No,
you
in business, you have to have, especially to scale. You have to delegate to scale. You can't, like Jeff Bezos can't run Amazon by himself. He need a person for this, in his circle. That's why he has a family office and all of these things. Like to scale to what you really want to be, you have to learn how to have that circle and to be able to delegate certain things. Yes, you still know and you see and you look over things, but you have to. That's the only way to scale. You can't be a one-man show.
Yeah,
it's impossible to scale. As a one-man show. Like it's impossible, bro. So like just everything that I'm doing, I have a team, man. It's been my team since college, and if there was somebody that came in my circle that worked out, I keep them.
Yeah. That's great, man.
Because I don't not trust you until I get a reason to not trust you.
Man, I forgot who said this. It's like um, the saying is like when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah, but not just that.
You know?
I learned how to invest properly.
Right.
Because at that time, I went, it was stupid.
Right.
But I learned how to I'll throw you a little song. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's work it out, and then works. We do it again consistently.
Yeah.
And then we can grow.
Yeah.
I don't just go all the way
Yeah.
and like let's do this. No.
Yeah.
So I learned how to really vet opportunities properly, and just I learned how to like I say, only invest what you're willing to lose. When I give you this money, it's gone. That's I learned a lot, bro.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? I ain't even worried about it, because you have to. Money is a tool. So once I understood money is just a tool, I'm not attached.
Yeah.
So I just had to learn a specific mentality to make me understand how to properly invest. And then I was also properly vet and properly look. Vet the opportunity and all of these things when it comes to cash flow and all that. So I learned all of that by myself, but it didn't start out like that. I had to make mistakes to get there. You know what I mean? But it was worth it because that allowed me to invest into Mosey, and start all the brands that I have. And, now I'm in prime positions, it was just blessings,
Yeah. So when you finished up at LSU, what degree did you?
So I had sports administration, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I wanted to understand how to manage a complex, because I am gonna build one back in my hometown for the kids.
Okay.
So that was the main reason why I didn't.
It's a long-term goal.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
there. Yeah.
Because once I stopped traveling and all of this, that's what I want to start focusing on back in my hometown. Is to go ahead and build something out there for them, and then be there to be able to guide them the things that I told you how to get a scholarship. I can help other kids do that. I did that already. Yeah. I've helped kids already get full ride scholarships in sports.
Yeah.
And it's not all big D1, but they follow my philosophy of what helped me, and they parents be thanking me to this day. You know what I mean? So I want to do more of that on a bigger scale. And yeah, that's the reason why I took that degree. And especially for me, I was already in business. I knew what I wanted to do. If I would have took finance, it was complex. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I'm playing football.
Yeah.
It's complex. I'm already real life doing it. So why do I need to take the school on?
Yeah.
If I'm doing it in real life.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
So that's why I didn't go that route, because I was already doing it.
Already a pro at it.
Yeah. So you can't. I learned through experience. The book, I threw myself out there in the fire to learn. Yeah. So I don't need to take that. So a lot of people ask me that because they think I took that in school, but nah, man. You can learn everything on the internet these days.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. You have such a wonderful story, man. So what's coming up next? If you want to talk about anything coming up next,
what's next is I'm going to be in Chicago next week, because I'm looking to open up a U.S. regulated futures brokerage firm for retail clients to trade on. I built trading platform that's releasing this month. And that's my next thing. So it's similar to like an E-Trade, or I'm trying to give you an example, like a TD Ameritrade.
Gotcha.
So I'm building one of those. So yeah, that's what's next. And just to keep expanding on my brands and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what's next outside of Mosey investment. Arlington is, locking in 100,000 square foot building in Arlington right now for Mosey. City. So I mean, you're about to see them in Dallas. So I mean, I was blessed also because I didn't tell you how I met them. So I met them on a plane going to LA because they was going to Magic Johnson
on a private jet.
Yeah, jet. I ain't want to put it on podcast.
You're a humble guy. I know that.
Yeah, I mean that's what it was, but. It was crazy because, it's an NBA player here. He played at the Lakers. Yeah. So we was all just going to the Pau Gasol retirement.
Yeah.
And they was on it because they was going to go pitch Magic.
Yeah.
The whole time, the person they needed to talk to was sitting in the plane with them.
Oh man.
So that was funny because I was able to observe and see.
Yeah.
And Magic, he just wants to put them around the stadium, but I was the one to help them
actually build.
I actually invested, and got them to where they are now to this day. And they secured, a contract with JP Morgan Chase was their first customer. So they're going to be in legacy and all around JP Morgan campuses across the U.S. Then they secured University of Clarkson and University of Houston and the city of Arlington. And Arlington, they want them to manufacture they want them to create over 150 jobs in Arlington and manufacture every vehicle out of Arlington. That's why Arlington investing $50 million more this month, actually. So my valuation of being a seed investor, bro, is
congratulations.
Because I was their first big investor, so I was the reason why they had the prototypes and was able to get where they go. And it's a risk, right? Not every, like for an example, they actually went to Mark Cuban first, and Mark Cuban was gonna give them the money, but at that time they told him to wait because they didn't have the vehicles yet. They wanted to wait a little bit longer to get the vehicles, then get his investment. Crazy part is, I came in between before they went back to Mark, and now I'm the Mark. So it's crazy, bro.
Congratulations,
that I was in that position. It's a blessing because honestly, like, who could have known I would have been in that position at that time? Yeah. At that right time to do that. Yeah. Timing. So because like I said, you only need one. Yeah. One unicorn, it's a wrap, and it's a unicorn. Yeah. Because it's done. Oh yeah. So for me, it's crazy to know this because, like, the CEO of that company, I always say I'm gonna be the next Andreessen because of my investment now, and it's the truth. It's the truth. And it's just crazy how that happened because a lot of people could have had that opportunity, but I was the first one to have it, and I took it. And it's just crazy to know that I'm in that position with that, and that was one of my best investments, I would say. Outside of what I know and do, if that makes sense. Yeah, it makes great outside sense. Of what I mean, external. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's huge for me, and I'm excited, bro, because that right there, their only competitor is Tesla. So it's crazy. It's crazy what that's gonna do for me to help me get into other doors to inspire and. You catching me before it,
right? So speaking of other doors, what other sci-fi type ideas do you have interest in?
I mean, I'm an investor, bro. So like, if the right opportunity comes around and it makes sense, I like to invest into things that's gonna, change lives, or change the infrastructure,
solving a real problem.
Yes, solving a real problem because, like. I mean, I can invest into something that's gonna make me some money, but if it's not really changing lives, solving problems at a large scale, I might as well just keep doing what I'm doing and making money myself and doing what I'm doing because what's the return on investment really is not really attractive, or it's really not changing something significantly. Right. If that makes sense. So I might as well just stick to what I'm doing. Yeah. Because I'm doing it. I'm fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it has to really be something like, wow. Like this right here this is next level. So that's how I invest, like, more so when it comes to the sci-fi type stuff. But other than that, I stick to what I do and know into the technology space, and that's pretty much it. Because I like transactional based business and stuff like that. I have an online casino overseas. So more transactional based and online basis is what I stick to. Right. But when it comes to just how I invest, it has to be something that is going to revolutionize something. And because if people told you about me, like, this guy, I'm in this angel investor group in Frisco called 1 Million Cups, and I brought the CEO of Mosey to them one time, and I was like, man, if you got Lewis to invest, man, you must be really doing something good, because they know, like, I'm stingy. Like, I'm not. I don't.
Very careful.
Yeah, I don't invest. It has to make, like, I'm telling you, like, So when I'm investing, it's more than likely gonna make sense, because I'm I don't just go around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some things ain't worth it for me because it's like I don't have to do that when I can just keep doing what I'm doing.
That's true.
You know.
So what's word of advice that you will kind of give to the young ones coming up to kind of like put a bow around the whole story and kind of?
I would say always follow your dreams, no matter what somebody say. You know, even if it is to play sports or whatever it is you try to do, because just because it don't work out don't mean that you going down that path won't teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll always say follow your dreams and what makes you happy, because that's what's most important. But always understand that you can always make money and still do what you love.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people don't let that go over their head.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I might not like real estate,
Yeah.
but I'll do it. You know what I mean? Because it makes me money, but I'm still doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm still becoming financially free, but now I can focus on what I love to do. So just because, you know, you're going down whatever career that it is you're doing, don't be blindsided. Don't be, you know, not mindful of ways to make money to help you get to do more of what you love. Make sense?
Yeah.
So like, because I'm not the biggest person into trucking and real estate, but I'm in those things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not my passion, but I'm in those things.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Because it can still help me continue the path of doing what I love to do.
Man.
So I always say that because as a kid, as an entrepreneur, you just focus on like what it is you love to do, which is good. But at some point, you need to make money. You know what I mean? At some point, you know what I mean? So you don't want to be, you know, like, you need to support yourself. So, because you can make this extra cash to have more money to believe in yourself. Because I'm going to tell you this, man, it's going to be rare that you find somebody that's going to invest in you and believe in you. That is rare.
And take you all the way, right?
It ain't happening, man. My phone, like if you go through my phone, I have billions of dollars worth of contacts in my phone. Ain't none of one of them investing into me. I got access to the whole industry.
Right.
So I put that to you now, like as a kid, beware that that's more than likely gonna be you too. Like, cause you're gonna go pitch, you're gonna go, you know, reach out to whoever if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, but you're gonna get no's. A lot of them, and it will be from the closest people you know.
Yeah.
That's just business.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna happen. Don't take it personal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you just have to keep going because it's gonna happen. Like I kid you not, I have billions of dollars worth of contacts in my phone, and none of them invested into me. But I took that as motivation to get where I needed to do for myself.
Right.
Because now everybody got their eyes and are interested because of where I am now. People with money only invest into other people with money because they know if they invest into you, they can lose their money and they can't get no money back. So you gotta understand that as a growing entrepreneur, the politics behind entrepreneurship, you can't take things personal.
Yeah.
You know, I went through those ups and downs and understanding all of this. So, you know, I would just say keep following your dreams. You know, have perseverance. Don't quit. People gonna tell you no regardless. Don't let that stop you. Stay motivated. Stay focused. You know, because you can lose focus. You're gonna get down on yourself, but shake out of it. You know, it's gonna happen. You know, I ain't gonna tell you that it won't because it will. And just stay down that path, man, because you know if you don't continue that path, you will never know what the other side look like.
Yeah.
So never stop just because you know you feel like it ain't gonna happen, because I'd rather keep pursuing it until it happened than wonder the what ifs of what if could happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
While I'm on this earth, you know what I mean? So just keep pushing, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, you got to see what it is like on the other side.
You're such a great motivational speaker, man. I got to tell you that. You like my takeaway from all this is the fundamentals perseverance, determination. Those 3 key facts. Like it's so amazing hearing you talk about your story. This is like a great almost like an autobiography now at this point, right? It's just like really we can take this and make a movie out of it, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, no one really understands the details until either they hear it or they see it, you know. And so, man, thank you so much, Lewis. I really appreciate you.
Most definitely, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Guys, you know, you've heard the story. We're going to summarize this. Like, comment, subscribe. As we move forward, you know, we're going to continue showing that our stories can be your story. And, you know, you can learn a lot just from hearing us talk about our stories. Thank you, and see you on the next one.
I got one thing to say. I always remember Sway has the answers.
Yes.
Health is wealth.
Thanks, plug.
You know what I mean?
Health is wealth. It is true. Everybody, Sway hydration.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lewis, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, man.